Alright, what's up YouTube? Wooly here, and today we're going to be talking about things the game doesn't tell you, part 2. We did a part 1 previously. You can go back and find that one. I'll actually link it down in the description. Just cover some of the basics about your actual game settings. Um, so some really useful info uh, just for the quality of life of DC, right? But this one is going to be focusing more on maximizing your marks, maximizing your feats, um, how to make money in game. Um, we'll see if we have time to touch on the proficiencies as well. I know I mentioned that in a previous video as well. I did kind of go over it in the single target DPS build, so feel free to check it out. But anyways, here we're in the House of Legends. All these vendors around me here are style vendors. Now, if you come over here to your Deeds tab and you go to Feats, you're going to scroll down to Styles. We'll be looking at iconic and themed styles. So you can see there's still some that I need to get. These are mostly just auras, materials, things like that. But as far as all the gear styles, we scroll down, you can see I've got a lot of them, right? There's a lot of skill points in there, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of stuff to be got. So like these PvP ones here, old PvP styles, you can kind of keep track. You see the ones that I highlighted are the ones that I have unlocked already. You can actually find those right over here. The only thing is these are kind of pricey. These are about 100 source marks, right? But if you go in here, say you look at, say you're a hero, you come over here and you talk to Harley Quinn, you're going to find a lot of villain styles in here that you can actually get. And these are just a good way to grind out your skill points, just maximize your skill points. Some of these are worth 25 feet points, some of these are worth 50 feet points, okay? And if you're curious, for people who are new to the game, every 100 feet points is a skill point. Now you can see my progress overview there. Kind of look at the columns. We've got 121 for Legends PvE out of 212. So a lot of feats out of that alone. Easily about 20 skill points. You can also break it down by episode. Specifically, just kind of go through, take a look at them. There's a lot of easy feats in here that you can do by yourself. You don't necessarily need to depend on a group in order to get them done. You can easily get about 300 plus skill points solo. Some of these are kind of grindy. You do have to go and you do have to work at them, but go into your Deeds tab, take a look at the different episodes, see what you need to do. That's where most of the new feats will be. There's always going to be stuff for the seasonal as well. We're going to have the season's greeting coming up in a couple of weeks, so definitely a good time to check out these feats here. Stuff like this, collect 11 base items. So easy feats, guys. Definitely go through your Deeds tab and take a look. It can be overwhelming, so just pick one and go through it. If you're new, you haven't done your duo feats, just go through, look at them, see what you need to do. These are all speed feats, do it in 11 minutes, do it in 10 minutes. So, feats, definitely take a look at your feats. That is what you want. Every 100 feet points, you get a skill point. Trust me, those 10 feet points do add up, okay? As you can see, I've been playing for years and years, but guys, 423 skill points, they ain't nothing to, turn your nose at. You can see what the benefit of it is when you max it out. So I max out my might and power, 10% power, 10% might, 10% weaponization rating. Off of that alone, 4,767 might. Okay, that is on top of 200 artifacts. I got my ones. Oh, sorry, this is my tank roll. But you can see, right, 4% might, 3% might. Like if I'm in DPS stance, I do have the solar amplifier on for It's actually a different build. But I do have the solar amplifier on for this build, but we can look at this one. I got all of 200 artifacts, right? So take a look at your deeds tab, look at the feats. The game isn't so clear-cut that it outright tells you this stuff. I think it's a little bit better now than it used to be. Previously, there used to be nothing on those loading screens except the wallpapers, right? Another thing I did want to touch on is going to be your daily marks. So, obviously, you want to maximize your daily marks. Now, there's always going to be about 2 or 3 open world places you can go and do dailies. Depending on your combat rating. Me, since I'm at the current end game, if I was to come over here, if I was going to say I'm going to do my dailies, I'm going to go into Patchwork Themyscira, then I'm going to go into 31st Century New Earth, and I'm going to go to Flashpoint Gotham Cities, and I'm going to go there and I'm going to speak to every vendor that has that little exclamation point on top of them, and I'm going to pick up all those missions, and I'm going to go do those dailies. You know, they'll show up in your journal. Now we have the Omnibus Weeklies and stuff like that. So you would come in here and just basically do them all. They don't take long if you are running DPS stance, regardless of how strong you are. 10-15 minutes, guys, in and out the door. So you can do all 3 of those dailies within 30 minutes. Okay, very, very easy to do, and that is a very good source of source marks every day. And then of course you want to do your on-duty missions. So everybody's got the Save the Universe. So you would go and do Science Spire, Iceberg Lounge, Raising Hades, solos and duos right there. Then you would do your 4-mans, and then you can go in and do some Omni raids if you have the time. But realistically, guys, even casual playing, you do all your daily vendor missions, you do your daily on-duty missions. That is a lot of marks. You can easily get about 30-40 marks just doing those. But what you would really want to do on resets every Thursday, you want to go and you want to start at Tier 5 Central City Deluge. You want to start by going over here. You're going to go up and get the mission for the bounty, right? The bounties are 8 source marks each. So every Thursday night or every Friday, I am in here and I am doing the bounties. That is 100 source marks every Thursday, guaranteed. You just come out here and you get it done, right? Come over here, you would pick it up, and you would come out here and you would just do the bounty. Help them out, drop some stuff on it. And it doesn't take much, guys. You can just go to LFG, type it in, say Starro up. I'm typing it out, you can't see it. I'll just say Starro on me. Right? And then people would show up. So you would just keep spamming LF2 like that until people show up. We're gonna get out of there before we die. But yeah, you would go to all of these different vendors. Pay no attention to the green. I haven't done everything on this character. He's an old character I started playing on. We're going to get out of combat, and I'm going to go to my base, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. But yeah, you would go through and start at Central City Deluge and work your way down. You would go through all the different open world sections and pick up all the bounties. And like I said, those are 8 marks each. And then you would do your weekly raids. Every week, your raids will reset on Thursday. And those are easy marks. I'm trying to run over here. So a little unprepared for the video. But yeah, so I start at Tier 5. We go through, me and my little group, My league, we go through, we start at Central City, we go to Titan's Island. So Central City, Astaro, Titan's Island has the giant Titan robot, and there will be one of the fearsome, one of the 5 out there. They called it Fearsome 5? I don't remember. Anyways, there's one of the 5 out there. Gizmo, Jinx, Mammoth. One of them. I think there's a feat for getting them all too. And then Atlantis, of course, you have Brine Hawk, and then you have the Swarm, which brings out the Mother. 8 marks each one. All of them are 8 marks. Chaos Gotham has the Shadow Golem, and it has the Shog Demon, and it has the Pod Demon. Metal Gotham, same thing, has the Metal Titans. There's a feat for doing all of them. You don't have to have the bounty active to get the feat, you just have to kill him. And then the Metal Man Bat. Thanagar has Onimar Sin, and it also has the Nth Metal Golem. And of course, Birds of Prey Metropolis has Calculator and Metahuman. And then Patchwork just has a few different bounties there. Ultimately, you want to start at Merc. People are always doing Patchwork. It's never hard to find a group. People are always doing Merc. So you want to start at Merc. I'm sorry, people are always doing Patchwork, but you want to start at Merc, work your way around. Ares, Athena, all of them. You got to get them all in order to get the Hydra. The Hydra is also worth the feat for doing it 75 times. All of them are. 31st Century, same thing. It's that roundhouse bounty system. And there's also one for doing the gems. You got to get a certain number of gems. I haven't done it in a while, so I don't remember. But it's not that many. And then it has the weekly repairing the signs, 19 of them. Very tedious, but easy, guys. Easy. 8 marks. So, you know. Flashpoint Gotham, you got the Generals, you got the Prince, and you got Doomsday. So right there, guys, that is easily 100 marks just for doing bounties, and it takes you no time. These bounties will go down in a matter of minutes if you get enough people coming off of LFG. You can just look at LFG and you can just pay attention to who's shouting, okay? See who's actually out there. Go to LFG, say, I need help doing, you know, the 300 in Earth 3, or whatever it may be. Because Earth 3 does have a couple of bounties there. They're not worth as much, but they're still source marks. They're still a quick kill. But there's weekly missions in all of these places, right? You go through and Metal Gotham, you close like 200 portals, something like that. And these are all worth 8 marks, so if you get bored, you need something to do, go doing through those. Go and knock those out. Those are weekly missions. There's also going to be daily missions in some of these that, even though you're not getting a currency for it because it's an older content, like if I was to go to let's say Gotham Wasteland, right? Where's Gotham Wasteland? Oh, like if I was to go to Gotham Wasteland as a 348 combat rating, DPS, I can do a daily mission in here and I can pick up a piece of gear that way. Now, obviously, I don't need it, but there are still things that you can do that will get you gear. See, there's going to be a gearbox, and that gear does scale to your current content, right? It'll scale to your current combat rating, I guess I should say. So those are still good things to do, even though these daily missions may not give you marks specifically. They do give you gear, and that'll help you level up. So that is a good way to level up. Doing these bounties gives you gear. Doing these daily missions, they give you gear. And that is what you need to advance. You need that combat rating. This is also things that you'll work on over time. These bounties, these daily missions, when you work on them over time, you get feats for doing a certain number of them, or getting all the daily missions for that surrounding area, like Ace Chemicals, Striker's Island, Steelworks, some of the old content, right? There's feats for doing those. You got to do all of the missions. So you go out there once a day, you do a mission, takes you 2 or 3 minutes, 5 minutes, It's nothing. That's nothing, guys, in the MMO world, right? As far as grinding out time, that's nothing. And you get a piece of gear for doing it. So get that stuff done. Just go out there and grind it. You would just go pick up the mission. That's it. Like, just go around to all these different areas. These are things you can tell from looking at your deeds tab as well. So you go to your feats, you go to episodes. You know, we would go over here and we would look at home turf. Do 100 Gorilla Garage projection. So you literally go to Striker's Island in regular Metropolis and you would see garage projection just floating in there. You kill it 100 times. Now it's only 10 points, but those 10 points add up, right? Says complete all of the exterior missions at Striker's Island. They add up, guys. They do add up. All those feats will add up. Now, as you can see, I kind of slacked on this content back in the day, but I've done a lot of these on other characters. For some reason, it's not showing up here that I can unlock it, but I have done it before. That may have been on Xbox. I used to play on Xbox. But those are easy ways to get your gear up, get your marks up, get your skill points up. As far as that goes, I think there was one other thing I kind of wanted to touch on with you guys, and that is going to be crafting and breaking down gear. So once we get through this loading screen here, I'll show you what I mean. Alright. Oh, I think we wanted to touch on making money too. So, in my base, I have my own little crafting table here, my R&D station. I craft all my own sodas. I go out of my way to get the plans for them, unless I get lucky and they drop. So I got my personal dampening fills that I can craft. You just got to get the plan for your relevant content to either drop, or you got to buy it out of the broker. So I got the relevant ones for me: personal dampening fill, bulldozer soda, nitro soda, flex soda, Nutra soda when I was a healer, chronomatic emitters because I'm a tank, plasma capsule. I don't know why I have that, never use it. So you can craft your own stuff here. Now, for those who don't know, nitro sodas, you can look at the description on the side, but I'll kind of show it to you here. So these, I am always running a nitro soda, and I am always running an omega compound when I am DPSing. I try to always keep those on hand. You can see the omega compound. It gives you a 5% buff on all of these different stats: health, power, restoration, vitalization, dominance, might, precision, for 30 minutes. Is what it's saying. 1800 seconds for 30 minutes, right? That will last. Even if you get knocked out, you get back up. These right here, nitros, are for might. Gives you that buff for 30 seconds. It does stack with the omega compound. Flex soda is for precision. And then Nutra sodas, I thought I had some. I do actually use them for my fire tank, but Nutra sodas are good for restoration. Give you a little bit of extra restoration. These, they do go on for 30 minutes. Now, if you get knocked out, even though you just popped one, that buff goes away, right? So you see my might, 108,000. And now it's up to 111,000, or sorry, 112,000. If you're curious if it's run out, obviously if you're keeping up with your stats, you'll be able to tell. Otherwise, for PlayStation, it's going to be up on the D-pad, and you scroll all the way down, and you will see current effects. So right now, the only one I have popped is Nitro Soda Cola. Now, if I go over here and I pop the Omega compound, we can see my might's up to 116,000. Okay. That's what I got as far as that goes. Because I did want to touch on the sodas as well. last thing here is your gear, breaking down gear and stuff like that. So all the gear that you collect, if you're not going to use it, if it's a lower piece of gear, you don't need it. I want you guys to take it, collect the style, come over here to your R&D station or any R&D station, go over to salvage and salvage it. Now as you can see, it's giving me those little exobytes. These little exobytes here, see that? We would take them and then we would put them in our little augments here. So I got my mighty runes. Now obviously I don't need to put it in because it's at max. If I tried to, it's not going to let me max strength. But that is how you fill them out, right? I'll give you an example. Here's an example right here, right? So if we were to go and put them in, you can see that XP would take effect, and then it would boost them up. Okay. So definitely break down your gear. There is also a feat for doing that. It took me a couple years to get this one done, but as you can see, research 50 different plans, research 100 plans, 150, etc., etc. There are feats for breaking stuff down as well, like I said. As you can see, I just got that one on the 15th of October 2021. You can tell how happy I was on that day. It took forever. 10,000 items salvaged. Okay, so easy feats, guys, but definitely necessary. I have another character that has a bank full of those little exobytes for the next content, because every time new episode comes out, these little augments will bump up. So these won't be 302 anymore. They'll go up a little bit. I'm not sure to what. Probably 310, 312. But they will go up. So we'll be working on those. These, you might see I have a cybernetic core. This is an old Teen Titans augment. It would go here. The reason I'm working on that now is because there is a feat for getting it to rank 20. I wasn't playing when the Titans came out. I was on hiatus. So crafting, breaking stuff down, definitely take advantage of it. It's just a benefit in multiple ways, right? It gives the XP, it works towards your feet. So it is something that is easy to do once a day, clears your inventory. There you go. You can also donate unwanted gear and stuff to your Weagle. I think that was it. As far as that, it was just making money. There are base items that you can put in there. I don't know if I have anything on the broker right now. No, everything is sold, but basically everything should go into the broker that you don't need. You're not going to break down. I would sell that. I don't know how much it's going for. I usually check. I would probably sell this dark matter. I don't need it. These base items, now they may be worthless, but if I throw it up onto the broker for $1,000, 5,000 bucks, something like that, that's probably gonna sell, right? That's probably gonna sell, and that money just adds up, guys. Now obviously the better quality items you have, the higher you're gonna get. Some of these base items, I think the library walls, we're going for like 3 or 4 mil every time. If I have some extra currency, I will go buy some of these pieces needed for the OP items, the omnipotent items, these accessories, these ores, these materials from some of these vendors, and I'll sell them on the broker. I'm fixing to go buy a time-torn accessory. I've already sold one on the broker. I collected one for the 10-point feat. I'm going to buy another one and I'm going to sell it. I'll probably sell it for about 30-35 mil, depending on what the going rate is. But that's usually a safe bet. But as you can see, I'll go through here and you can look. Cosmic Purple Ore sold for 2.5 mil. 2 solid 31st century exabytes sold for 100,000. 2 flawed Century 31st exobytes sold for 100,000. 2 pristine cybernetic exobytes sold for 100,000. Batman's Batarang one-hand style sold for 20,000. So iconics don't sell very well. They don't fetch very high prices unless... I think I got 25 mil for the Joker's one-handed style at the golf club. I got a good price for that, so I didn't see any Jokers in there. But, you know, I'm kind of going through my mailbox here. You can kind of see these little pieces will sell. I made, yeah, like 100 mil in a week just selling random stuff on the broker. Those little auras that you get from the patchwork bounties and all of that, those things will sell for 100,000 a pop every time, guys. I don't remember what this was. It expired with no buyers. I think it was the Batarangs, actually. But I put it back in. As you can tell, it did sell. Sphero Fluid, 100,000. 150,000. So, I mean, these are small amounts, but guys, they add up so quick. I'm telling you. But that is what I got for you today. These are just some little tips to kind of help you make the most of what you can. But I will try to put a part 3 together. I'm working on that, putting a list together of what I want to include. If there's anything you guys want to see mentioned in the part 3, it'll be out in a couple of weeks. Like I said, I'm working on a list. I gotta make sure I put some useful information in there for new users and returning players, or maybe even veteran players that just don't maximize some of these things the way that they should or that they could. But if there's anything you want added to the list, please drop it down below in the comments. I'll get to it in the future, and I'll try to squeeze it into the next video if it's going to be useful to everybody, because that's why I make these videos, is so that you guys can partake of the knowledge that I've accumulated over years of playing this game, right? But that's what I got for you today, guys. Again, really appreciate all the love I've been getting. It's my pleasure doing this. I really enjoy it. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, and I will catch you next time.